When you hear the word failure, what comes to your mind? For me personally, it's a word I'm terrified of. And I'm terrified of that word because it's associated with really negative feelings and experiences for me. And during that difficult period where I found myself failing and therefore assigning it that I was not capable, I found myself really feeling bad about myself and was forced to think, what's going on here? Is there a way I can overcome this? Is there a way that I am actually capable, but maybe I'm not just seeing it? Well, in this video, I want to talk about how you can view failure as a positive, and not just a positive in your life, but an essential part of getting to where you want to go. I'm Desh, I'm a qualified counsellor, and it is my mission to provide content that can help you on your own mental health journey. And in this video, I want to talk about failure. Failure is a theme that comes up most of the time with my clients because it has so many applications in our lives. It's not just about trying to reach goals that you set yourself or trying to, make it at work. Failure can also link to how we feel about ourselves, how we relate to others, what we think other people think of us. We can always go and refer back to I'm a failure, I failed, I am not capable. It can very quickly snowball because it's such a potent feeling, and it's crucial that you use self-awareness to manage it. So if you have that association with the word failure, that you are not capable, that you keep failing, there's no point trying, you might as well give up, this is when you know that your identification with failure and assigning it to yourself is when you know you've overcome your ability to manage it. So let's look at failure. Failure is essentially when you do not succeed. It could be making mistakes on tasks. It could be not getting that grade you wanted to for your exam. It might be failing in relationships, failing at work, failing in terms of the personal goals you've set yourself. Failure has a lot of meanings for us, and it can induce fear. Fear of the unknown. What's going to happen if I fail? Some of us may have experiences of the past of making mistakes and being punished for it. So failure now becomes something you must avoid at all costs. And because we carry that with us into adulthood, unless we rectify it and manage it and are supported to expose ourselves to failures and learn how to navigate them and work our way through it, we're always going to be afraid and want to avoid failing. But when you avoid failing, you are going to avoid succeeding because failure is a crucial part of that process. If you look at sports stars like Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Cristiano Ronaldo, think about how they were at the top of their game and how many mistakes and failures they had to endure in order to get to the point that they reached. And they got there for one of the skills they had was consistency. Consistency is basically saying, no matter how many times I fail, I'm going to keep going because I'm going to use failure as an opportunity to learn, to grow. And I'm not just talking about goals, I'm talking about regulating your emotions. You're going to be questioning a lot of your actions. You're going to be questioning your relationships. You will see that you've made mistakes in that you haven't lived your life according to your own purpose. So if you allow those mistakes to define you and say, I'm a failure, you've already resigned yourself to being a failure because you've identified with it. Failure is an opportunity. If you have the mindset, I'm a failure, you will not see the opportunity for growth in those failures. That requires you to not be judgmental to yourself, even if other people have been judgmental to you. This requires an incredible skill of being self-resilient and being accountable for your actions. There is opportunity in failure. So when you start to explore failure, start to expose yourself to taking some risks, see what happens, experiment with different exercises, different actions. So it might be you're in a conflict in your relationship. You always tend to react the same way, and while you think in your head it's going to make things better, it ends up making things worse. So is there something different I can do? Even though I might be afraid to go there, even though I'm not sure how it's going to turn out, why do I have a fear of this unknown? Is it because I'm afraid I'm going to fail? So just gently broach that, breach into that area and see what happens. And it's only by taking the risk where you'll know if there's a better alternative out there, but you have to expose yourself to the failure. So it's about shifting your mindset from, I need to avoid failure. I need to make sure I get it right every time, which is in itself going to induce a lot of stress and a lot of pressure, to going towards failure as an opportunity to grow. It doesn't mean I cannot accomplish that task or that thing I want to do. It just means that I need to find my way. But in order to find my way, I need to first see what doesn't work. So by reframing the meaning that failure has for you in that way, you are opening a path for you to succeed in the future. A part of shifting your mindset around what failure means is to embrace the emotions that come with failure. You may be experiencing a great deal of discomfort whenever you make a mistake or whenever you fail. You may have that voice in your head saying you're not capable, you might as well give up, there's no use. You may have feelings of inadequacy. You may be brought down and it's not in your control. You just feel this feeling physically. So it's very difficult because you're not just battling your perception of failure, you're battling the emotion that comes with it. So in order to shift your mindset fully, you need to embrace the feelings. And by embracing the feelings, you need to sit with them. When we experience negative emotions, there is a tendency we have to avoid experiencing them. So we end up making decisions based on how we feel in order to no longer feel that way. Okay? So when we're feeling bad about ourselves, we might please someone else in order to then feel good about ourselves. Whereas if we didn't please that person, but we just instead sat with this feeling and applied consciousness and be aware of, okay, I'm aware I'm feeling like this right now, kind of like a third eye, see yourself from above, what's going on for you, just sit with it. You'll notice nothing bad's gonna happen. Nothing bad's happening around me. I'm just feeling this way. So there's no urgency for me to act because I can just not act. I'll still have the feeling, but this is where you develop the resilience. So in order to be able to embrace failure and use it as a positive in your life, that also comes with the emotions that come with it. That also means embracing the emotions that come with failure, sitting with it, and developing a resilience so that not only if there's failure, but any negative emotion you experience, you'll be more likely able to sit with it for longer periods. And rather than react, you'll be able to respond consciously because you won't have that pressure to react immediately. You'll be able to give more thought, more presence, and be able to slow down what's going on for you in order to seek out the choice that's going to be best for you in the longer run. Remember, you are not defined by your failures. You're defined by how you bounce back from them. We all make mistakes. It's time to embrace those mistakes as part of the process and move on and enjoy it when we can. Comment below on what your experiences of failure are and what ways you've tried to kind of bounce back from them and learn from them and use them as a tool to grow. Please like and subscribe. There'll be more content coming out soon.